Good morning, folks. It's 6:20 in the morning on day 52. It's 54.2 degrees, and I had the shelter to myself last night. Well, just me and the mice. I'm gonna go ahead and wake up. Good morning, folks. It is 7:41 and 52.8 degrees. Guess I was a little lazy getting out of camp this morning. It's a bit of a duration between wake up and out, but whatever. Excuse me. Yeah, I slept pretty decent last night. I will say, man, that mouse or mice or however many of them there were, they were vexing me. They came around midnight, and I felt them kind of poking against me. Luckily, nothing bit me, so that's good. And I didn't notice any holes in any of my gear, so that's also very good. By 1:30 or so, I guess they relented, and I didn't really have any more experience with them after that. But yeah, I guess maybe they were just kind of probing and prodding, seeing and smelling whether I had any food with me or crumbs and wrappers in my pockets, and I did not. So maybe that's what it was. I don't really know. I don't really know the psychology of mice, but luckily they left me alone after a while, and I was able to get some sleep. It did rain pretty heavy last night, that's for sure. I was thankful to be in the shelter. It just makes packing up a lot easier, although the rain had stopped by the time I was packing up, and in fact stopped by the time I was waking up, so that was good. And as you can tell right now, it's just a beautiful little morning right now, so that's good. Anyways, today should be an interesting day. So I think we're going to do about 20 miles or so, as I mentioned in yesterday's video, trying to get to Jenkins Shelter. Depending how early I get there, may even kind of like consult the map and see if there's something a little further, but we'll kind of play it by ear. I also want to see if I get any service and can get an updated weather forecast. But part of what makes today fun is that yesterday there was a sign posted of a washed out bridge about 3.5, 4 miles from here, 3 3/4, something like that. So the sign said that so long as the water level is okay and there hasn't been heavy rain, you should be able to ford the river okay, just up to your calves or knees or something. Well, there was heavy rain. So again, luckily the rain cut off, well before sunrise. So maybe the water's kind of washed out. I'm going to kind of hope that that's the case, that the water's back down on the Mississippi or something by now, who knows. But we'll kind of see. We'll see. Should be my first like proper river ford of the AT. And if it's unsafe, I'll figure something else out, but hopefully I can get through there. And then I'm also going to, rather than taking off my shoes and socks, since I plan on being in town tomorrow, I think I'm just going to kind of take advantage of this relatively warm temperature and the fact that I have clean and dry backup socks in my bag. I think I'm going to take this opportunity to try and test out the drainability of these shoes and just kind of see how it all goes. So I'm wearing pretty much my completely normal foot and sock and calf compression and knee brace and all that. The only thing I'm not wearing right now is my ace bandage. So that's just kind of a pain to deal with, especially when it's wet. So I left that off, but everything else will be a pretty proper test. Anyways, pretty much a lot of talking early in the morning. I'm gonna go ahead and get hiking. Oh, I should say right after that ford, we have like a 4.5 mile climb. So that's gonna be fun as well. Yeah, that's it. I'll check in with y'all later. We'll get hiking. Hey folks, just beginning our descent down to the ford. Just wanted to point out over there, that's the range we're going to climb over today. So I think we kind of come up through that kind of lower elevation off this way and then walk clear across the ridge of that mountain. So looks pretty big, should be fun. All right folks, well, we have made it to Lick Creek where the bridge is washed out, as you can see on the opposite bank over there. That water definitely looks like it's moving pretty good, and it is completely opaque after about, looks like 6 or 8 inches. There is a depth marker on the opposite bank which looks like it's about 2 feet, at least where that marker is. I think I read on Guthook that that the marker is actually positioned at the deepest point, even though it's on the opposite bank. So hopefully that's the case. There's a nifty little sign here that someone at the ATC has posted with some advice on how to ford a river or a creek. And then there's this awesome string and rope that someone set up. So it looks like, I don't know if I think my bag would probably might wind up hitting the water if I suspend it, but I guess that's what I'll try and do. This is definitely a bit of a hairy situation here, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, definitely a bit hairy, but shoot, I'll leave the camera rolling, and that way if I wash on down the creek, at least someone will know what happened. So all right, I'll see you on the other side. All right, well that was fun. It's a 9:15, and as you saw, I just went ahead and finished fording that Lick Creek. So that was definitely fun. Boy, I feel the water sloshing around in my shoes right now. but that ought to dissipate here. I think we got just a little bit of a ramble, less than a mile, and then we'll start climbing up yet another ridge. So we'll get up to the ridge line and then run along the ridge, it looks like, and then you know, kind of keep going until we get to camp. So that water was actually pretty refreshing, to be perfectly honest. Not super cold, but just kind of cool and nice, honestly. It was pushing pretty hard, but I never felt unsafe at any point. It was about a third of the way up my thigh at its deepest. I'm 5'11", and it got just about where my shorts break on my thighs. So I think probably that 2-foot depth marker was just about right, to be honest. So that's pretty nice. Yeah, anyways, there's the ford, first ford of the AT, and we'll keep moving. Hey there folks, so we are here at the Chestnut Knob shelter, which is actually a converted building which used to be a fire warden's cabin. So it is a really neat place. It's actually got room for at least 8, maybe even 10, pretty comfortably. Picnic table is inside. Got it's actually made out of like stone or concrete or cinder block or something walls. So it is really well sort of protected from the wind. This would be a great shelter in inclement weather. Even got a couple windows, really a great spot. It's actually overlooking a bit of a geological anomaly called Burke's Garden, which formed from a large limestone sinkhole, essentially. So it's 8 miles by 4 miles, and it looks like it's actually in use now for agriculture or pasture land or something like that. Yeah, I don't know if I said the time, but it is 5 past 12 and just about 53 degrees with a pretty good wind blowing out there. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and post up here for just a little while and get a snack. I already had my second breakfast, so I guess that'll make this my lunch. I'm gonna get a quick snack here and then keep on scooting because we are only 9.4 miles into what should be about a 20-mile day or so. So I'll hang out for a little and we'll get right back to it. I'll check in with you all later. Hey folks, alright, it is 6:09 and I am at the Jenkins shelter, which is just about a 20-mile day, which is nice. Pretty fun day for sure. Climbed up that one big old climb, that 4.5 mile long and 1/2 mile of elevation gain or something like that. and then it was ridge running for quite some distance. I actually got into the shelter right at around 4 o'clock or so. Got my tent all pitched up. Mike was already here and he's staying the night in the shelter, and then Subman and Suds excuse me, showed up as well. So they're just pitching up their Z-Packs. The three of us all kind of had dinner together and hanging out a little bit. But the temperature's dropping. I left my watch and therefore thermometer in the tent, so I don't really know exactly what temperature it is, but it's definitely cooling down just a little, and I think it's going to be in the like low to mid 40s or something tonight, which is definitely like cold enough for me to go ahead and sleep with the Sawyer filter just in case anyways. So tomorrow I think I only have like a 10-mile or so jaunt to get over to Bland, Virginia, and then I did confirm today with Weary Feet Hostel that they're gonna have a private room for me tomorrow, so that's pretty good. Take a shower and do some laundry. I think that's about all I really have for today. It was a fun day. It was a fun day for sure. Weather stayed nice and cool, maybe like mid 60s, if that was the high. Yeah, it was a good day. I'm gonna turn in. I'll see y'all tomorrow.